Raider Nation, what's good, man? Welcome to the live show. Thank you for tuning in to the preview against the Los Angeles Chargers. I about said San Diego Chargers, but Los Angeles Chargers, man. We got a big show lined up. We've got audio, we've got breakdowns, we've got matchups to look into. It's going to be a remarkable show, man. We're going to let the chat pull up. Everybody smash the like button. Everybody that's in the building, smash the like button. Let everybody know where you're at tonight. It makes your experience that much more enjoyable, allows more Raider fans to come into the show and tune in and to spend the evening with us, man, which is all we could ask for. So, Raider Nation, without further ado, man, we are going to welcome in on my co-host, Pharaoh NFL. Pharaoh, what's good, my man?
What's going on, man? I appreciate that. I'm on Raider Ray's channel right now, talking some Raider football, coming off a win. You know what I mean? But man, I'm excited, man. Like, hey, we're on a 2-game win streak. Is that the? Yeah, that's the longest win streak of the season. That's the longest win streak of the season.
Stack them one at a time, bro.
Yeah, I mean, and at the end of the day, too, you know, like we said on Sunday, man, the Raiders have gone over the hump. They were 0-6 in one-score games, and the fact that they could win 2 overtime wins back-to-back games, man, you got to love it, man. You got to be excited, man. And now we're playing a division foe, a division rival in the Chargers, who've had their struggles as well, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But like I said, we got a good show coming up.
No, yeah, man. And look, coming off of a big win like we just did against the Seattle Seahawks, there's a lot to look forward to. It's almost like, look what a few wins can do, right? It kind of gets the momentum back underneath your feet. We've got a really good matchup against the Chargers. And then look, if we go out here and win this game on Sunday, hey, man, the season's not done. I mean, yeah, a few things have to fall in the Raiders' favor, but it's honestly plausible. So if the Raiders can find their identity now and find their footing, this is why we don't talk about tanking. You know what I mean? This is why we put one foot in front of the other and continue to build, progressively get better as a football team. And let's see where the chips fall at the end of the year, man. So I'm excited for this Chargers matchup. Honestly, this is the biggest game of the year now. I know it's easy to say that week in and week out, but the last few weeks, the Raiders have struggled to be playing in meaningful football games. But look, this Chargers matchup is huge for the AFC West division, and we've got a lot to talk about. So let's kind of just rehash real quick the Seattle game. I thought it was a really big win for the Las Vegas Raiders. Obviously, Josh Jacobs, 303 total yards. What stood out most for you for the Raiders and Seahawks matchup? And moving forward, what are you looking forward to coming against the LA Chargers?
I just felt like that the Raiders kind of played a complete game. I know it was when I say complete game, I mean that like the defense made plays, the offense made plays, Derek Carr was making plays, Devontae Adams was making plays, Josh Jacobs, the best players stepped up. You know, the marquee players, they stepped up on the road. Those are the things that kind of stepped up. You know, that kind of stood out to me was the fact that like you had these big plays, big moments in the play, and they're all kind of like started by, you know, the Derek Carrs, the Devontae Adams, the Josh Jacobs, the Max Crosbys, the Denzel Perrimans. You know what I'm saying? I could keep going. Hey, I'm Jerron Harmon. You know what I mean? Like we got to give some kudos to him, man. Like literally most of the season, he's kind of been, you know, one of our best playmakers on in the secondary, you know, as far as forcing turnovers. So, you know, big ups to him. Like he's making plays. So those are the things that I enjoyed that I took from that game was the fact that the Raiders made plays on Sunday. They made big time plays.
Facts, man. And it was obviously, like you were just saying, it was by the big time players. Max Crosby on third down was just a relentless machine.
Mm-hmm.
The Condor came to play, man. Third down, it's like this guy goes to another level and thrives. He's able to get and disrupt quarterbacks, make big plays in big time moments. The secondary, they played okay despite the fact going up against a favorable matchup for the Seattle Seahawks. I thought the run defense was essential. You talked about Denzel Perryman, but really it was a collective unit. Guys like Andrew Billings, Jerry Tillery, who is a former Charger, who he's going to go up against his former team. And now what was a weakness, the Raiders have a little decent rotation going on right now. Bilal Nichols has kind of stepped up in the last few weeks. Andrew Billings has really emerged as the Raiders' dominant run defender, and he actually showed ability to get after the passer last week, which was huge. So if he can come into this game healthy, it's going to be a huge, huge advantage for the Raiders. And in mixing in Jerry Tillery in there, I think he actually offers you a little bit of value from the interior side. You know, he's not going to blow you away, but he offers a pursuit after the quarterback, a relentless motor to actually continue to fight to get tacklers to the ground. So overall, man, I'm really excited about this matchup. I'm really excited about the run defense moving forward. I think it's going to be an aspect to build upon going into this game against the Chargers, who have a really good running back in Austin Eckler. So, kind of talk. Let's just jump straight into the Chargers, bro. You want to?
Yeah, we can go ahead and do that, man. Let's start with Mick Lombardi and how he feels about the defense of the Chargers.
The Chargers, I mean, look, they're a well coached, fast defense that swarm the football. They force a lot of fumbles. Obviously, keeps them in games. They've done a good job with that recently. Forced turnovers. They really make you earn every inch. Like I said, they're coached really hard by Brandon Staley. Very strong defensive background, and I would say just overall team speed. They got good players on all ends, whether it's Khalil Mack, Derwin James, Tranquil, linebacker. Those guys, there's all levels of defense. They have guys who can make plays in the football and get after, whether it's the quarterback, the pass game or run game.
Yeah, man. Hey, I couldn't say any better than that, man. Like he pretty much broke it down. Hey, man, the Chargers defense, the Chargers team, we all know about them. I mean, injuries have kind of been part of their legacy. You know what I mean? It almost seems like every year the Chargers are always getting hurt. I think, but I think you were telling me earlier. I think that Joey Bosa possibly might come back this weekend. We'll see. That's going to be a big boost for this defense. We all know what Joey Bosa is as a player. The dude is going to be. He's one of the best pass rushers in the league. So, and you got Derwin James out there too, man. That's going to be a big time. But the one thing that I'll say is that you could run against this defense. And part of my frustrations with Josh McDaniels and early on with the Raiders is the fact that, if you guys remember, we were like running the ball the least amount of times in the NFL. I think we had like the least amount of rushing attempts the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season. And, hindsight is 2020, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like you look back and be like, wow, like imagine if, the Raiders were running the ball with Josh Jacobs then. Maybe we would have won a couple of those games in the beginning of the season, especially against the Chargers, because they still haven't figured out how to stop the run. Last year, it was a big issue. They thought they made some upgrades. You could probably point to injuries to that defense. Maybe that's a fire affecting how they stop the run. But that being said, like if Josh Jacobs is healthy, big if, because I don't know if anybody's heard that report by Tom Pelissero. He's saying that, Josh Jacobs is probably not going to practice at all this week, and he's most likely going to be a game time decision. We'll see if that's true or not. But yeah, if Josh Jacobs is not playing against the Chargers, it's going to be a really, really tough game for the Raiders because they got something good going on, especially with him running the ball the way he's running it. But if he's playing, man, this defense can be beat.
Without a shadow of a doubt. And the thing about the defense is, and we're talking about the run defense as a whole, Kyle Van Noy, Kenneth Murray, and the interior defensive tackles of this Chargers defense, they're lacking right now. They're not playing their best ball. Matter of fact, since Joey Bosa has gone out, they're averaging 151 rushing yards a game. And that's not going against the elite runners of the National Football League. That's surely not going up against a running back with the talent of a Josh Jacobs. Let me just give you a few numbers within the last few games. They've led up 151 yards, 131, 213, 98, 213, 201, 157, 163, and 181. I mean, that's just on the ground solely. And going against the number one running back in the league, I fully expect Josh Jacobs to be able to go. But right now, what the problem is with the Chargers defense is that interior defensive line, they're just too small. They don't have the guy in there that is that aggressive run defense. They've got Joseph Day. But outside of that, Andre James, Alex Bars, Dylan Parham, those interior trio of guys are really going to have to put hats on guys this game. Get nasty in the run game. You're coming off your best rushing performance. Let's build off of that. We don't have to hit 303 total yards, but what we can do is consistently show that we are a dominant running football team. And if we do that, look, I fully expect the Chargers to stack the box against the Raiders. They're going to fully commit. They know they have issues against the run. This week, they can't let Josh Jacobs beat them. You're going to see a lot of stacked boxes, a lot of one-on-one matchups. And the guy that you need to have circled on the Chargers defense is none other than safety Derwin James. He's the guy that anchors that entire defense right now. He's probably the best safety in the NFL right now, playing at an extremely high level. able to get his hands on the football, create turnovers, force fumbles. The Chargers defense is doing a remarkable job at forcing turnovers. You've got to have a hat on him at all times. He's really plagued Derek Carr in times past, so we have to have a matchup on where he's at before we hike the ball. So overall, man, this defense is definitely susceptible right now. You know, they've got corners. They've got a rookie safety out there, JT Woods, who struggled in college with missed tackles. He let up a touchdown last week to DeAndre Hopkins due to a missed tackle. This is a guy that the Chargers benched because he was struggling with a missed tackle issue. He's back in the lineup with Nasir Adderley dealing with a few injuries. So there's a few things, man. Kyle Van Noy's not playing at the highest level. Kenneth Murray has been lined up in personnel situations against wide receivers, which a lot of the Chargers fan base has been saying, like, what are they doing with personnel on defense? I don't know, man. I just think that this is more of a favorable matchup for the Raiders than what a lot of people are considering.
Yeah, man. I'm just concerned if McDaniels, I mean, not McDaniels, but Josh Jacobs doesn't go, then, you know, guys like Zamir White, you know, who hasn't really been getting a lot of carries, he gets put on the spotlight. And you know, I'll give it to this O-line. This O-line, you know, run blocking, you could say that they've pretty much, that's probably their strength. They can run. This is a good, they're good at running the football. They're good at running blocking. But at the end of the day, like, that's a lot of inexperience with Zamir White. That's, you know, that might come back to haunt Josh McDaniels when he doesn't give any carries to like any of the running backs, because now you have a banged up Josh Jacobs. And if he does go, you already know that Zamir White he's gonna have to get like more than 2-3 carries. He's gonna have to, man. The dude just came off a game where he had 33 carries, 229 yards, over 300 yards of total offense. Literally half of the Raiders offense came from Josh Jacobs. That's crazy. You know what I mean? So, you know, man, it's going to be interesting to see how that develops, you know, during the week. And hopefully he's healthy going into the game. He could take advantage of this matchup, because I looked up a little bit of the Chargers beat writers, and they're scared.
They are.
They're concerned, and they're like, literally they're kind of like, you know, crossing their fingers, like hoping that Josh Jacobs doesn't play this game, because they know how bad this run defense is. And if Josh Jacobs play, best believe McDaniels is going to be calling up a lot of run plays. Either way, Zamir White better have a good game. He better have a big game. Guys like Zamir White need to come. I think he needs to establish himself. Do you see? This is kind of random, but do you? And I'm not sure because we haven't seen him all year. But do you see a guy like the 7th round pick, running back that we got this year? Do you see him get activated possibly?
No, I think they roll in with the 4 that they got. I think if anybody's going to get an extended amount of reps, it's going to be Zamir White, especially coming off an average, you know, averaging 10 plus yards a game last week. I think if anybody deserves to get more carries as a running back in the backfield, it's going to be Zamir White. Amir Abdullah is doing his thing, you know, stretching the field, being able to be an option in the passing game. I think Brandon Bolden is slowly getting weeded out of the offense.
Why did they? Brandon Bolden.
I know. It's not a
waste of a roster spot. Like,
it is.
Look, I'm looking at Machiavelli Raider. You just took the words out of my mouth. He said this is where we should have kept Drake. Facts,
100%.
You got to keep the best players on the roster. You just don't play favorites like that. He played, and they played favorites with, and you know, a guy like Jalen Richard, I like them too as well. But I'm not really thinking about Jalen Richard because Amir Abdullah. I like Amir Abdullah. I think he's been a good pickup for this offense.
No, Kenyon Drake was the guy. He was the guy. Him and Demarcus Robinson. I think those are 2 cuts that looking at how the Raiders season has kind of gone, I think we could have used a guy like Demarcus Robinson, in my opinion. You know what I mean? With the injury, with the losing of Waller and Renfro, I just think he would have been a good vet presence.
Because Tyron Johnson's not even on the roster.
Exactly. And that was the guy that you kept because, you know what I mean? So it's all hindsight. Let's get to the chat, man. I want to address these guys. Robert Pena says, salute Raider Race. Salute to you, Robert Pena. Thank you for pulling up. Sean Johnson's in the building. He says, salute Raider Ray. Pharaoh. Robert Pena says, salute Sean Johnson. D Menace is in the building. Salute Ray. Salute Pharaoh.
Salute, man.
Appreciate Sean Johnson says, destiny is in the Raiders' hands. 6 games to go win out, and you never know. Facts, man. Hey, if they did it last year with less talent, if they're bought in and playing together as a team, anything can happen. I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but I'm saying anything can happen.
this is the best the Raiders have played all season. To me.
Yeah, I think it's only getting better. There's just a different vibe.
Right.
It feels like a different team. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Facts, 100%.
Winning does that, but it's not just the winning. It's the effort and the energy that they're playing with on the field.
Right, because when they beat the Broncos that first time, I didn't feel like that. I was like, you know what I mean?
No.
There's certain things I was kind of like,
You could even tell in the locker room, like they still weren't even as juiced. You know what I mean? They picked up a win, but they weren't. I don't think they were a team yet. You know what I mean? I don't think that they were a real team yet. I think going through the adverse situation that you had to go through together, I think maybe losing in the long big picture, I think that might have been the best thing for the locker room at the time because it either forced one of two things. You're going to either separate or you're going to come together as a team. And I think the Raiders actually came together as a team. Sean Johnson says Terrell Basham, that's his name, was waived by Dallas. Could you pick him up low cost, maybe high reward? He's a defensive tackle, I believe. Look, you always could, right? You always could. I kind of like what they've got going. I think Jerry Tillery, even though he's only been here a week or two, I think he's just added freshness. You know what I mean? He's added a body into that room who's competent, and he's given these guys a fresh rotation, and I think it's actually benefiting them. Kyle Pecco, another guy.
And I know Raider Nation probably doesn't want to hear this because the guy hasn't had a sack this whole season. Maybe he might have half a sack. He might have half a sack. Chandler Jones has kind of been playing well lately. I kind of been seeing him in the backfield. Like there was a couple times where I'm like, oh, Chandler Jones about the sack. And then, obviously Billings kind of, probably finished it off and took the sack away, but he was really close. But like, it's like the D line last game, they were after Geno Smith and led by obviously Max Crosby. And Max Crosby, man, like we're going to get into this, man. I don't want to go off tangent, but like, I was just really thinking about this because I seen someone post online saying that, he might be the best defensive player in the league.
This season, you can make that argument for sure. For sure. Here's the thing, and remember we were talking about it last week, was the emergence of somebody on the interior of this defense. And as soon as we start talking about it, because we were talking about the prospect out of Georgia, Jalen Carter, and what he could possibly bring to the Raiders if they were to be able to draft that high, which I don't think is going to be the case, but the emergence of a guy like Andrew Billings, you kind of seen it last week. You made the point that Chandler Jones kind of made an appearance, right? And it's because there's an emergence on the interior of this defensive line, which allows these bookend guys. The quarterbacks just can't step up into the pocket. So these bookend guys are able to clean some things up. And I think that's something that the Raiders have been lacking. I mean, every team that we've gone against and played, they know that we have two premier edge rushers. So when the ends would break down, all they would do is step up in the pocket and send the ball down the field. So,
hey, when I just thought about randomly, have you seen Matthew Kuntz lately?
Malcolm Kuntz?
Is he on the team?
He's somewhere.
Was he did they leave him in Vegas when they was in Seattle? Like I feel like damn, like he's literally like the odd man out, and I'm not sure.
I just think it's a scheme fit. It's got to be, right? Or are they just giving Cleveland Farrell reps, due to his salary? I don't know, bro.
I don't know, man. I think he's just one of those guys. I don't think the coaches really like him like that. And
I don't think so either.
He's probably gonna go.
That's a Gus Bradley guy.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be Gus Bradley. And I think the thing is, I feel like he has some talent. I think he could to work with, and I feel like he just needs to get. The thing is, you got to give pass rushers opportunities. You got to believe in them. You got to believe in play. I don't know. I'm not sure if he feels, and I'm just throwing this out there, but I'm not sure if this coaching staff believes in Matthew and Kuntz, because at the end of the day, like, why is he not on the field? You know what I mean? Like, why is he not getting pass rush opportunities? And he might be, but I just haven't seen him. I haven't even heard his name.
And it's unfortunate because that's a guy who has an amazing one-arm stab bull rush coming out of the University of Buffalo, same college that Khalil Mack came to. And you see his specialized sack move, that one-arm stab bull rush that he does really, really well. They get full extension. It's a complete product of what the University of Buffalo teaches out of their pass rushers. And Malcolm Kuntz is almost a perfect image of that. And I think a lot of people forget, too, that Malcolm Kuntz is a big guy. When it comes to weight, I think we forget that he's actually the same size as Khalil Mack. Now, Khalil Mack is more beefy in stature, but when it comes to weight on paper, Malcolm Kuntz is actually a bigger person. I just think he's longer than a Khalil Mack.
Was he like 6'3", 250?
Yeah, he's actually a lot bigger than what I thought he was.
So let me see, Matthew Kuntz.
Malcolm.
Malcolm Kuntz. I'm sorry, Matthew Kuntz.
Yeah, look at his size. He's actually a lot bigger than what I thought. I don't know what it is with him though, man. I think though, if as long as you get some more guys emerging on the interior of this defensive line, you're gonna see guys like Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones has actually been playing okay. When you're like I said, we keep focusing on that stat category. And that's crucial, right? You pay a guy $17.5 million to come in here, be a bookend defensive end, to go out there and create sacks with a Max Crosby to be one of the NFL's more elite premier defensive end duos in the National Football League, like a Khalil Mack, a Joey Bosa. It just hasn't quite panned out.
Yeah. No, it hasn't, but that's just part of that's part of like new regime coming in. Like at the end of the day, it's just not going to be a smooth process. And from how it looks, it's looking like, I mean, we don't want to, stay on a negative, but there was reports about how the locker room wasn't getting along and yada, yada, yada. And that might be, and I kind of alluded, hey, that's still kind of like, you still got to look at like the coaching staff, because and the GM, they're putting the players together. You know what I mean? Like, I think what John Gruden did in the past, I feel like he did a good job of putting players together that were good personality fits. They worked in the locker room, and then you kind of seen the result of that last year, where they were a mentally tough team. They love playing with each other, and I'm not saying that they don't do this year. I feel like right now it seems like it's all coming together, and they're playing for each other, and they're playing hard, and you could just tell by how they're playing on the field. But man, it's a good thing to see, man. I'm excited for this game, man, for sure. This is probably one of the best parts of the season.
Van City says, Ray Farrell, my guys, what a few days. The newest member of Raider Nation was born last night at 7:30 p.m. My beautiful baby boy. He was 7.7 pounds and 20 inches from the womb to the tomb.
Oh, man. Congratulations.
Shout out to my boy Van City, man. Congratulations on the baby boy, man.
You went your first ever Raider game was an overtime classic, and then you bring a child into the world, man. That's a beautiful thing, man. That's a beautiful thing, man.
Count your blessings, bro. You had a heck of a week this week.
Yes, sir.
Machiavelli Raider says, "What's up, Raider Nation? What's good, Machiavelli?
What's good?"
Robert Pena says, "Salute, Van City." DeMarcus Webb says, "Pharaoh, did you get your Bo Jackson moment in the Seattle game?"
Did you get your Bo Jackson moment in Seattle game? Hey, basically, that final run had like 91 yards in 1987, and Josh Jacobs did it in his style with the 86-yard touchdown. So, yeah, for sure. That was my moment. That was my moment. We all seen it live, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Kevin Lurker says, "Evening, Ray and Pharaoh." Machiavelli says, "Billings is balling out." Facts, man. Billings is somebody I've been high on this offseason, man. Machiavelli says Nichols is showing up. I guess Tillery deserves credit in that. He does, man. He's a good, solid rotational piece, man. It looks like he's kind of bought in too. He's brought some energy. You could tell in the locker rooms with the win. I mean, he's fired up with the guys. He hopped right in, and it just seems like he's a natural fit in the locker room, man. He doesn't just seem like the odd man out. He's contributing, and he's getting disruptive. The number says Hobbs will be back Sunday, man, and what a boost to a Raiders defense.
Ooh, that's gonna be a big boost. Boost, man. Another playmaker. You're adding another playmaker.
You need to limit Farley. You need to limit Teamer. Luke Masterson is also another guy I'd kind of like to see limited a little bit. I mean, you just got too many guys on that defensive side of the football that's just not. And let's be honest for a minute, man. The Raiders defense just lacks star power. Everything from the defensive line back. You know what I mean? Denzel Perryman is really, really good when it comes to the run defense. He's definitely not even close, our best linebacker. When it comes to the secondary, an aging Deron Harmon, who's playing good football. Let's make no mistake about it. He's playing good football, but he's an aging veteran. He's the one that's creating the turnovers. And outside of Nate Hobbs, man, Rock Ya-Sin's playing good. It's the depth on this defense is what I'm worried about. Luke Masterson, Roderick Teamer, Caleb Farley. These are guys that you don't want to see get as much snaps as what they're getting, but hopefully the Raiders can get a little bit healthy.
Facts. So Machiavelli Raider says Eckler scares me. Our linebackers need to be prepared. And hey, that's a good segue, man. And we need to focus on the offense. But we all know the leader of that offense, man. And Patrick Graham, he broke it down today.
What's the challenge in defending a Justin Herbert?
The run pass option, and really, he's a quarterback. Let's just say that. He could throw the ball. He could throw it to any part of the field. great arm strength. You see the intelligence in terms of getting in and out of plays. You see that. And then obviously once you start getting some years under you, he's seen a bunch of looks, the experience comes, and, you know, you got to make sure you're disguising certain looks. And so, I mean, just the growth of a young quarterback with all the physical skills and the mental capability is tough. And then on top of that, when he gets in trouble, he can make plays with his feet. And still, like, again, it's not like he's just running just for the sake of running. He's running to throw the ball down the field or running to get first down. So it's a difficult challenge just because of all the things that, you know, that come along with the physical, the mental, and then with the experience.
Yeah, man. Hey, Herbert's going to be a problem for this defense, obviously, because he adds that, you know, running element. But he loves to throw that rock around, especially we know he has a great arm, man. And another thing too, this is not going to be the same Chargers team that we faced that first game. They're a little beat up. You know what I mean? They lost the left tackle for the season. Mike Williams may not go this week. He's probably going to try to make it work because it's a big game, divisional game. You know, it's a Raider game, so obviously, you know, all the players want to play against the Raiders. So he might be ready to go this week. But the Chargers, man, they give you they you know they're gonna, you know, you're gonna have to deal with Eckler, like my guy right here mentioned in the chat. You're gonna have to deal with Eckler. You're gonna have to deal with Keenan Allen because he's back. He's healthy for them. And it's going to be problems, man. I think, and you know what? You add Everett too. Gerald Everett is going to be a problem for the linebackers. You know what I mean? It's going to be an issue. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we have to figure out a way to stop him. And the best way is that pass rush needs to get going. They need to continue that strong pass rush. They got to. Max Crosby has to continue to take over the game. You got to have guys like Chandler Jones. Can he get a sack? You know what I mean? Can he get a full sack? Not a half a sack. We need a full sack. I mean, that's literally the key to the game. I mean, we don't have the players, the depth, like you mentioned earlier, to really keep up with some solid offenses, solid to good offenses. If we're playing good offenses and they have all day to throw, I mean, they're literally going to score with ease.
Yeah, and it's not only that the Chargers are beat up. The biggest problem right now with the Chargers is it's the offensive line, but it's also the play calling. Joe Lombardi for the LA Chargers has been struggling recently when it comes to play calling. They're having issues. There's a lot of checkdowns going on. There's a lot of short passes going on, and you could say it's injury based. But now getting even a Keenan Allen back, the fan base of the Chargers are even coming out, you know, questioning the decision making of this offense. It's not the same one where they would just sit back and play to Justin Herbert's strength. They're really limiting his skill set and not letting him go down the field, taking deep shots down the field, something that he actually thrives at. So it's been a big problem for the Chargers recently is play calling. They've almost set themselves back. You know, when you look at the skill position players from afar, they're really talented. I mean, outside of the offensive line that's dealing with a banged up left tackle, obviously they lost Rashawn Slater. So they've got a fill-in left tackle right now. Left guard, Matt Filer. Their center, Corey Linsley, he actually might be questionable with a concussion heading into the game, which would be huge for the Raiders. And it'd be bad for the Chargers. They're already dealing with a beat-up offensive line. But getting back into the skill set positions, Austin Eckler, if you're the Raiders defense, you have to have a hat on him. You've got to contain him. If you can force the Chargers into third and long situations. Look, we've talked about it a lot, but the theme for the Raiders is being effective both on offense and defense on first and second down. The Raiders defense has found a lot of success when they limit teams on first and second down. The ability to stop the run and create third and longs, third and sevens, third and sixes. This is where the Raiders defense thrives because they're actually playing reasonably well against the pass. So if the Raiders can really anchor down and build off of the run defense that they showed against the Seattle Seahawks, I think it would be really efficient moving forward, especially into this Chargers game. Get a hat on Austin Eckler, put Nate Hobbs up against Keenan Allen, and see how everybody else matches up. Gerald Everett is a really good matchup. He can target the middle of the field. Jordan Palmer, Josh Palmer, wide receiver. Really good deep threat, has really good ability, really good speed, big time playmaker, and also Carter. I mean, you go down the list of them, man. They've got options on every level, and the Raiders defense has to show up ready to play.
I think the biggest keys of this game, both on offense and defense, is literally the Raiders. Are the Raiders going to, because this is how they literally, their recipe for success is literally running the ball. And if they can dominate and run the ball, because I think I seen a stat this year, the Raiders are 3-1 and when Josh Jacobs goes over 100 yards, and I'll pull up like the all-time stats when he goes over 100 yards in a little bit, but it's pretty good. I mean, the Raiders are going to be winning most of those games. And then on top of that, I think the D-line needs to take over. The D-line, the pass rush needs to take over because Keenan Allen's going to have a field day. You know what I mean? Guys like Mike Williams. I'm not really afraid of Mike Williams. Yeah, I just feel like he's overrated, to be honest with you. But I'm not saying he's not a talented player, but he's overrated. Keenan Allen, I got a lot of respect of his game. He could easily take over a game.
No, I think this game, Keenan Allen and Eckler is going to be the chain movers.
Exactly.
On third down, since Keenan Allen's come back, the Chargers' third down defense or third down offensive efficiency has jumped 10%. I mean, that's actually pretty outstanding. When your third down conversions are jumping 10% with the return of one player, that lets you know the skill set and the value that he brings to that offense. They're really built and designed around Keenan Allen. So if you can put a Nate Hobbs on him, maybe they're going to play each other similar. You're going to have Derwin James in the corner covering Devontae Adams. The Raiders are going to have they're going to have to double Keenan, and they're going to really have to have a hat on Austin Eckler and come up and rally. Let's see here. Machiavelli.
Kevin Lurker says Amik is the Mike Williams killer, man. Hey.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know about that one, man. I don't know, man. Mike Williams is a big receiver though. He a big boy. But hey, you know what? At the end of the day, Amik is he got that dog in him, man. He's not afraid, man. He's not afraid of that challenge.
Yeah, and you guys redrop your questions below because obviously we got caught up in conversation and I can't go through all of these right now. So you guys just resubmit anything that you wanted said or acknowledge on here. I'm going to get to it, man. They're going to take the momentum from the last 2 wins and get this W on Sunday, man. Let's hope. Let's continue to build off this momentum. Raider Way says Tillery wants revenge too. I think he's going to have a sneaky good game. I mean, he's going to have all the motivation in the world. We have 7 defensive tackles, right? Let's see. Kyle Pecco, Billings, Nichols, Matthew Butler, Neil Farrell. Who am I missing? Tillery.
Cleveland Farrell, he might as well be.
Cleveland Farrell. Yeah, we're about at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. GA Patriot in the building. Shout out to you, GA. He said Raiders.
Hold on. Let me do you a favor.
Oh, geez. Raider Way says Kuntz equals Ragus.
Kuntz equals Ragus?
Oh,
damn.
Ouch, bro.
Oh, my God. That's
shot fired, boys. Shot fired. Oh, my goodness.
Let me give you a better one than that.
Yeah, there you go. Raider Way says, where's Waller? Waller is sitting on IR right now, my friend. Yeah, dealing with Miami. Him and Hunter Renfrow.
He's hurt, man. But hey, my thing is, if the Raiders can put together some wins and go on a little win streak on literally led by Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, by the time they come back, they have to fit in. It's not going to be one of those situations where McDaniel's trying to force feed Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow. No, these guys need to figure out a role, or hey. Like we mentioned last show, like, hey, one of these guys is gonna have to go, especially if Josh Jacobs continues the way he's playing right now.
Facts, bro. I mean, and honestly, we had a poll in the chat, kind of agreed. We made the decision not based off of just the friendship that Hunter has with the Derek Carr, but we just talked about skill set position alone. Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller. If you had to get rid of one of those players, who would it be? Who would you be willing to move on from? And the conclusion was, in my opinion, who I would want to get rid of, it would probably be Hunter Renfrow, just because I think when healthy, Darren Waller adds a lot to the offense at his position. I believe he's a top player, top 5 at his position. He's a bigger threat. But however, who do I think is going to stay? I think the one who would be the one to leave is Darren Waller. You get more value for him. A team is definitely going to be able to trade. And with his contract, they'll be able to they'll make a trade, and I think you get some good compensation back for him.
You know what's crazy too is that let's say he comes back and he balls out. I still can see him get traded.
I could too.
Because that's all that's gonna do is just gonna, like, basically guarantee maybe a high second round pick, first round pick. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think you get a second. I mean, that's a big contract to take on. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Is there going to be a team out there that's willing to give up a first? Say a team that's close, right? They're on the brink. Imagine a team that's close on the brink. And the
Wait,
Packers,
Packers already gave one. Oh, you know what? We can get our first round pick. Well, no. Never mind. Packers were desperate during the season, but
I don't think it'll be the Packers, bro. I think it's going to be a team that's close, like they're on the brink, and they're going to
yeah. I'm just throwing out names.
Yeah, I think that they were definitely involved, obviously, but I think that ship is kind of sailed. I think the contract also is a conflict for them at that point too.
Yeah.
GA says Ray Chandler is not racking up sacks, but he's playing well. Was in the right place at the right time for the fumble recovery. Had it not been fumbled, it would have been a tackle for loss. Facts, GA. Yeah, the stats don't always tell the whole picture. I think on film, he's actually doing his job.
Yeah, he's playing well. You could see, like, when that pocket's collapsing, I'm looking at, like, who's on the other side of that edge. Oh, that's Chandler Jones.
Yeah, exactly.
But then Billings gets the sack. You know what I mean? But it's just, hopefully
that's good for the Raiders defense.
Yeah, that's great.
I know that Chandler Jones might not get the number, but the fact that Raiders are getting pushed on the interior of this defense, I take it wherever I get it.
But the reality is too, as well, is that we're gonna have to be okay with that because he's gonna be here for the next few years based off his contract.
Yeah, and I think the more you improve the interior, the better production you're going to get out of him, and maybe those numbers that is on that contract will start to look better over time. GA Patriot says, Pharaoh Ray, Raiders are improving every week. Some weeks a lot, some weeks a little. If they keep that up, the wins will keep coming. If you can just continue to stack brick by brick of what the Raiders have built over the last 2 weeks, yeah, I think some good things could come for the Raiders.
That's pretty much been my kind of my thing, is that the fact that, like, when, the Raider Nation and whoever were, they were mentioning tanking and this, that, and a third. What's the point of winning if we're not going to make the playoffs? Let's get a high draft pick. But at the end of the day, like, McDaniels and everybody that's brought in, they were brought in to win, not rebuild. So it just doesn't make any sense. If you're going to rebuild, then you might as well fire everybody and start over, trade everybody and start over, pretty much. But Mark Davis came out and said he supports McDaniels. He's behind him 100%. So it's in their best. I think it's a great sign if the Raiders can come together, win some games, and even if they don't make the playoffs, finish the season strong. So then now we can go into next season and then build off what we have.
Do you think if Jerry Tillery finishes out this year strong, you think he has an opportunity to re-sign with the team?
Tillery?
Yeah.
It depends. It depends, because right now, salary cap wise, like, we got so many different things that we have to, like, focus on. You know what I mean? Like, we literally
obviously bring back
Andrew. We're going to be our starting corners next year. Do you even know that? Can you say that at the top of your head and with confidence?
I mean, starters. I mean, I think you only have one penciled in starter right now.
Hobbs. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
And he's on his rookie deal.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you have to start thinking about signing Hobbs.
Yeah, you have. I mean, honestly, I would start to get that paper out now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I would get a contract on the table now, because the longer you wait, this dude's going to be a superstar. That price is going to go way up.
Exactly. So there's so many different ways, like, we can. Yeah, Tillery would be nice, but he better be coming on a cheap deal.
I think you could. I think you can get him on a one year type of deal, and him kind of gamble on himself, because he's a former first round pick. You know what I mean? Kind of reminds me of the Solomon Thomas situation a little bit. First round pick, needed a new situation, signed a 1 year deal. I could kind of see that. So, me personally, though, the one guy that I'm going to bring back on the defensive line is Andrew Billings. I think the dude has earned a contract, and I don't think you're going to have to pay him, premier money. I think $3.5-4 million a season. That can lock him up for 2 more years. Bilal Nichols is obviously here for 2 years, so maybe you're adding one more pass rush type of guy on the interior. We'll see, man.
You got to be able to bring back the players that played well in your system. Like, you have to do that. Like, that's how you're gonna build. That's how you build out a good team, especially the following year.
All eyes on G says, salute Ray, Pharaoh, chat. Shout out to you all.
Eyes, man. Appreciate you pulling up, brother.
GA says Foster Moreau is trending on a major fantasy sites. I'm just saying. He's still, I mean, look, this is why the whole talk about Darren Waller is pretty interesting, right? Because it's not until you see a full-time replacement, then you see how much Darren Waller actually added to a Raiders offense when healthy, when their chemistry is clicking. It's a different level. You know what I mean? Like Foster Moreau has been serviceable. He's been doing good, especially of late, showing up at big moments, but he's also had big crucial drops. You know what I mean? He's improved as a blocker. He's actually took leaps and bounds as a blocker. He's doing a really, really good job. And that bodes really well for this offensive system.
Mhm.
But we're talking about these players at these skill positions, and now you're starting to see what truly separates these guys. You know what I mean? I don't think if you're another team out there and you have the choice between Darren Waller and Foster Moreau, it's not even close.
No, it's not even close because people might be sometimes fans they'll get confused by like, oh, he's making plays. Look, Waller's hurt. At least he's available. Like he's a way better option. No, 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 not at all. You gotta look at the bigger picture. Devontae Adams is on. Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs are literally that's who the defense coordinators are game planning against.
Right.
Everybody else, they don't even care. They don't like, hey, if he gets the catch, he gets the catch. But
And-
they're betting all their money on putting all their attention on Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams. And I would too. I would do the same too. But he's made some plays. He made that touchdown. He ran a nice route to get open in the end zone, and Derek Carr, rolled to his right through a game time touchdown. It was a good play. But like you said, he has moments where like the drop on it was a big third down, and was it the fourth quarter or third quarter? He had a big drop. The week prior, I think the Raiders could have won the game.
Yeah, dropped in the red zone, hit him right in the chest.
Red zone. You know what I mean? And it's not the first time, man. It's not the first time,
It ain't.
but I like Moreau though. He's a good.
No, I do
linebacker
too.
guy.
And it happened last season, right? When Darren Waller went down. Max or Foster Moreau got extended playing time, and we've seen, hey, the drop off of talent is pretty sufficient. So Sean Johnson says Max Crosby stats through 11 games, 67 tackles, 10.5 sacks, 22 quarterback hits, 2 forced fumbles, 2 pass defended, 1 fumble recovery, 60 tackles for a loss since 2019.
Ooh, God, man.
That boy is balling. Hey, man, there's a reason why he's hanging out back here.
Man, and that goes back to my earlier statement, man. And I seen people kind of mention this on social media, and I'm kind of like thinking about it, and I'm like, man, is Max Crosby the best defensive player in the NFL right now?
I thought, dude,
He's
in the
dominating.
Top 3.
He's dominating.
Yeah, he's in the top 3 for sure.
And if you really think about it, he's literally carrying our defense.
Oh, 100%. He's one of those guys that it's in that league of, the Myles Garretts, the you name all your top pass rushers. Honestly,
Yeah.
at this point, there's no point in even extending out a bunch of names. Name your top pass rushers. Max Crosby is in that league. He's the guy who makes everybody around him better.
Our mods, man, we got to take care of some stuff in the chat.
Yeah, get the thought bots out.
They in the
DeMarcus
building
Webb
right
says,
now.
what are your guys' thoughts on Jacobs' contract after the season? I honestly think we got our next great running back. Re-sign him, and he will have every record for the Raiders running back, touchdown, yards, everything.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. You got to keep the great players. He's special, man. Like he's been consistent since he's been drafted. The one knock that you could probably, or a couple knocks you could say about Josh Jacobs is the fact that he didn't have that breakaway speed, and he gets injured. You know what I mean? Injuries have been a little bit, but he's tough, man. He's tough. He's consistent. He's a big leader in that locker room. I mean, if you compare him to like Renfro and Darren Waller, because those are two guys where you can kind of point to and say they're trade assets, and the fact that they're not playing right now, Jacobs is a way better player than Darren Waller or Hunter Renfro. That's easy to me.
Yeah,
That's
easy.
It's easy for me to say.
I'd be completely okay if you swap contracts and moved on from one of them. I'd be okay with that completely.
And it's crazy. I would have not said this during the offseason. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like,
no, I wouldn't have. I wasn't saying that.
Because at that point, I thought that Jacobs was a very good player. But now he's surpassed that. He's on a whole different level now. He's a great player. And Waller and Renfro, they're still at that very good level. They've never really surpassed that great level.
Let's put it this way.
Waller flirted with that a little bit, but greatness at his position is literally the guy in KC, Kelsey.
You want to
And
know?
I'll never compare Waller to Kelsey. Like it's not even
Nah, that ain't close.
close.
That's like comparing Foster Moreau to Darren Waller. I mean, maybe not that bad.
No,
No,
that's
not that
bad.
big. Yeah,
Don't
no,
disrespect him like that.
that was me taking
That's
shots.
terrible.
That
That's
was me
terrible.
taking shots. Nah, but hey, to be honest with you, man, really, the Raiders just put up 40 points, and that's without Hunter Renfrow and Darren Waller.
Ooh, and that's what I'm saying too.
You know what that tells me? Those guys are they're expendable.
Yeah.
Now, can the Raiders do that consistently? Obviously, they're not going to be putting up 40 points every week. No. And do those players give you favorable matchups week in and week out? Of course. But what I'm saying is this offense can still run efficiently and effectively without those guys. So what do you do when you have that much cap space wrapped up in two players?
If you get rid of Waller, I would say that you have to upgrade that number 2 wide receiver spot. He has to be
100%.
you can't go with
No.
Hollins.
No.
Everything made sense when you had Adams, Waller, and Renfro, and then okay, the number 2 spot, the other guy on the other boundary, Hollins, he could be that role player. He could just, get the one-on-ones, get open here and there. He's just gonna, do his job type of guy. But you can't roll with Hollins if it's Devontae Adams, Hollins, and then a bunch of no-name guys after
And
that.
to be honest with you, you might need to target a guy that can take the top off of a defense because this offense is lacking explosiveness. I mean, outside of Devontae Adams, somebody who can take the top off of a defense, and he does it in a completely different way, right? He'll set you up with route running, and he'll take the top off of a defense. He'll take two guys with him. So, I mean, it's completely different, but we need a guy who's a field stretcher. You know what I mean? Real speed, 4.2 type of speed.
But where would you get that at? Would you get that in free agency?
You
Or
know what? Due to this offensive scheme, to be honest with you, I would target it in the draft. That's what I would do. I don't think you need to invest a ton of money in free agency unless you're getting like I brought him up on the previous show. Unless you're getting like a guy like Nicole Hardman, I think that'd be a good sneaky, low key signing pick. A guy who can take the top off, has experience in the league. I think that a guy like that would be a good fit. If you can pick up somebody like that in free agency, maybe like I don't know what his contract situation's like, but even like a Donovan Peoples-Jones, he's kind of revitalized his career this season with the Cleveland Browns. Guys like those, I don't think you have to go out there and spend top dollar on a number 2.
I would trade for Aguilar. I know we've been saying that for a minute, but it just makes too much sense. If you trade away Waller, and then obviously you're going to give Jacobs a contract, then because look, hear me out, y'all. I know we've been saying this for a minute, and y'all like, Aguilar, he been left. What I'm saying is at the end of the day, like we've seen this learning curve for these players, and it takes a long time for a veteran to get used to this offense. Imagine if I see some of y'all saying the draft. Like if we get a player in the draft, how long is it going to take for him, a receiver, to get used to this offense? It's going to take a long time.
You know what? I'm not too impressed with Matt Collins' IQ of this playbook. There's been multiple games now, bro. I've seen Derek Carr get to the line of scrimmage and be yelling at Matt Collins.
Oh, yeah, like doing this.
Telling him like, no, get over here. Like,
yeah.
and I've heard little snippets from like Foster Moreau, like saying like, well, if Matt Collins knew what he was doing, like just like little subtle jokes.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Like and he made a little joke about how like, man, Mac, he better Matt Collins. It was sarcasm, it wasn't too serious. I that there's teammates, they play around with each other, but he was like, oh, Matt Collins in that last play, he better go for that block. Like, and he did. Everybody blocked well on that play.
He did. No, I'm talking to just basically on film what I'm seeing, like lining up on the wrong side of the offense. There's times where him and Derek Carr are completely on the wrong page. And majority of the time, a lot of it has to do with the receiver not doing the route that was called. And you see Derek Carr yelling at him, like, why are you stop running? Or why didn't you go across the field? Like you see him getting agitated with Matt Collins. So maybe you do make a good point, man. It might be hard, but me personally, unless you're getting a guy like the guys I kind of name, like in that kind of category, that tier 2 wide receiver, somebody who's a smart football player, I think you go and adjust in a draft. It might take some time, but you get some youth, you get some speed, and you don't invest a ton of money into that offensive position. I think you're going to be okay.
I think they can get Aguilar in a trade because they have 13 picks.
But I think his contract's up at the end of the season.
Is he a free agent?
I believe after this year, he's a free agent. You'd
after
have to look up his
let me
contract.
look. Hold on. Let me see.
If the team gels with the new system and proves that they can win with the personnel we have, then why
Three.
worry so much about a high draft pick? Yeah, and you don't have to worry about a high draft pick. GA, I think you go out here, win as many football games as you possibly can, land your lot wherever it is in the draft, and go grab the best player available. Hopefully, hopefully, obviously, it's towards the end of the first round, and maybe you can go get you a sideline to sideline linebacker.
You are right.
His contract's up.
He is the 2023 NFL free agents, wide
Yeah.
receivers.
Yeah. See what I mean? So you'll be able to get him on an affordable deal too. He's not going to make the type of money that he just made.
Guess who's also a free agent too?
Who?
But you probably like at this point we probably don't care about him. DJ Shark, Nelson Aguilar. After that, I'm looking at speedy receivers, y'all. There's some other
Hardman's one. Nicole Hardman's a free agent. That's why I brought him up.
Okay.
I think he's a sleeper wide receiver, bro.
I'm looking at it right now. It's a lot of. It's not a good free agent.
Wide receiver class.
Yeah, and when that happens, guys like Nelson Aguilar get overpaid.
Yeah, they go for big money.
Yeah.
I'd keep Tillery for another year. This D-line has changed since we've added him. Yeah, and I think it has to do with the freshness. It's just it's a good rotational piece. Johnny Storm Beats says, got to keep Tillery. We need depth. Matthew Nero says, Raider Nation needs to start forgetting the last game and play right now. Like John Madden said, play for each other. Facts, man. It's on to the next game. You know what I mean?
Johnny Storm says, draft. I'm with you. But I'm also thinking defense, and I'm trying to figure out like
Hey, with 13 draft picks, let's be real, you can go a lot of ways. And
I think they're going to trade, bro. They're going to be trading up.
Yeah, they're going to be aggressive.
Yeah, for sure.
Tillery's made a difference. Billings come through strong. We finally have an inside pass rush. Let's see if they can be consistent, though. That's the biggest thing.
Yep.
Definitely going to be a cheap deal. He got waived. Tillery, yeah, facts. Appreciate y'all for the content, man. We appreciate you for pulling up.
Man, appreciate you coming through, man.
We love doing this. D Menace put up the links to the channels. This is Pharaoh NFL, and this is mine. Let's see. For real, we just need to stay together, especially the core. Then draft will be a powerhouse for years. Yeah, I mean, as long as they can continue to buy into the system and keep developing talent, like good young talent throughout the draft, I think the Raiders are going to be in a good spot. You know what I mean? You spend your money on your skill position players right now, right? So now the Raiders are in a position. You've got so much guaranteed money to these players. You've got 13 draft picks. You've got to go out here and draft well. And that's historically what Dave Ziegler has shown over there in New England, right? They sign a core of free agents. They go get their aging veterans, the Devontaes, the Chandlers. They go get these guys that can play good football. But then they just stack load this roster with a lot of depth. You see the Luke Mastersons, the Sam Webbs. You know what I mean? All these defensive players, now through the draft, you need to build talent. You need to add to that room. And the more that you can add to that room, the better that this organization is going to get long-term. But, hey, man, there's over 50 people in the building. Smash that like button, man. Subscribe to both channels. We go live every Tuesday and Saturday and even do some post-game videos. So you don't want to miss out on the latest and greatest Raiders content. We're out here putting in work, and we can't grow without the support of Raider Nation. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell notification icon.
Curtis Williams says, even D-Jack is low-key balling for the Ravens. Is he, though? I did see that deep throw that Lamar Jackson threw to him against who were they playing last game? The Ravens were playing and they lost. They lost against the Jaguars.
Jags.
Hey,
Zay Jones with that dagger.
Man, hey,
he's got a thank for the Ravens, bro.
How do you feel? This is way off topic. This is more of a football. How do you feel about the Jaguars quarterback?
Trevor Lawrence.
Oh man, he's looking nice, bro.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. He is looking nice. I don't know if I was that high. I get the situation he's in though. So with Trevor Lawrence, I'm really understanding of his whole situation. Yeah, anytime.
Dysfunction never equals to anything good. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
I support him. He's not a guy I fear though. I don't get the Herbert vibes. I don't, and not that I say that I fear Herbert. I should have reworded that, but I feel like he's a step below those guys.
Yeah, but he got Zay Jones getting 11 catches, 45 yards.
Zay Jones is a good football player, man.
He's solid, but come on, man.
Crosby be making tackles on run plays on the opposite sideline of BC. Yeah, his hustle, his motor is just relentless. He had trouble picking up the playbook. Tyron Johnson, yeah, facts. I don't even know if I mean, Jonathan Abrams got released. You look at everybody that the Raiders have moved on from, that everybody was kind of criticizing, and why did we move on from Tyron Johnson? I don't think Tyron Johnson has done anything for the team he's gone to. Obviously, the Packers just waived Jonathan Abram. That says a lot. I mean, what took the Raiders however long, multiple years, it took Green Bay Packers 2 weeks, and they're like, "Nah, I'm good." Avakazi's in the building. Shout out to Avakazi. If you guys aren't subscribed to Avakazi, go over there. Subscribe to his
Shots
channel.
fired on that one.
Shots fired, boy.
You
Hey,
came for Abram on that one.
We're pulling out the guns tonight. What's up, gang?
Damn.
Raider Ray Farrell. Let us know when you're ready for a Madden match on stream, brother. Played low and SC last night. Go Raiders. Hey, Avakazi, I'm gonna get a rematch with you, my friend. Me and Avakazi played. It was my first game on the PS5. I think Avakazi was maybe taking it easy on me, but I was able to pull a slight win off. He didn't stream that one. Maybe we should have. That way, I could have been in a better light.
That was a test. Hey, that was a test.
That was a test. So, yeah, we'll have to get on that, man. We'll have to get on that for sure. What's good, D Menace? Nice to see you got a wrench. Yeah, D Menace is honestly him, Daniel Kim, those moderators, man, they put in work. Me and Pharaoh talk about them off camera, and maybe they don't get to hear this, and we need to address them. But D Menace, Daniel Kim, you guys as moderators, you guys have been holding it down. We're extremely grateful to have you guys on the channel. And anybody that's wanting to earn a wrench and be a moderator, man, let us know. And the more you continually pull up to the show, support, and help us with the bots and comments and everything else.
And I will add to it is, a wrench is just not having that special. Oh, you got that blue name, and at the end of the day, like it comes with responsibility. So like just I just want to put that out there because Daniel Kim and D Menace, they always coming through and they're always showing support and they're always consistent. So, but yeah, we are looking to add more mods as the show grows. So just let us know.
Facts. Alsgo says, I'll be honest, I didn't think JJ was elite. He's arguably the best running back in the NFL right now. Hey, and also, bro, I say this
arguing.
I'm not gonna argue. However, buyers beware. Are you gonna get this if you sign him? Are you gonna get this consistently for the next 5 years? That's a huge, huge question mark.
Would it be a 5-year contract?
It'd probably be 3.
If we can get him for 3, that'd be solid. If
we get it for 3, I'd pay him. You know what I mean? Because that's just long enough to. I don't know though, bro.
Like, but you know what's gonna happen is that if he decides like, nah, I can get something way better than that.
Oh, he's gonna test the market.
Yeah, and the market is gonna pay,
and somebody's gonna bid very, very high for him
for sure. Yeah.
So I mean, shout out to him. You know what I mean? Go get your money. So. Raider Nation, don't be surprised if Josh Jacobs goes out here and takes.
If Jacob leaves the Raiders, and I don't want him. I'm just letting y'all. I'm not trying to put that out there for him to leave. No, I don't want him that to happen. Just please don't go to the Chiefs.
Don't go to Denver
or the Broncos. Just don't do that. Just go far away so we don't ever see you. We just highlight them like, oh, once a Raider, always a Raider, and then we just keep it pushing.
Just call it that.
For real.
Johnny says draft 4 years, $45 million for Jacobs. The real DC's in the building, man. Shout out to you, DC, our quarterback. Way to put up 3 touchdowns finally. We've been waiting for it. Hey, little insider. I wouldn't be surprised if DC has back-to-back 3 touchdowns. Just a little Easter egg, little spoiler I've got.
If we're running the ball the way we are, for sure.
Draft intelligent players, facts. High IQ, intelligent players. GA Patriot with the
super sound like Dave Z over there, Johnny Storm Beats. You sound like Dave Z.
GA Patriot with the super chat. Can we take a moment to celebrate Devontae's sideline catch while holding the corner's hand? Epic catch, Hall of Fame stuff. Have you guys ever seen somebody chicken wing a football?
That's for the super chat, man. Appreciate that, man.
Brother. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it after the game, man. We had a post-game show, man. We were hyped. We were just talking, hey, man, we was enjoying the win just like everybody else. Davante Adams, he just shows up on Sunday and just greatness. He's the best receiver we've had since what, Tim Brown, Jerry Rice?
Facts, 100%. Not even close.
Like, you could just tell, like when he's on the field, it's just like everything comes easy for him.
We got 7 games left, and the dude's at 1,000 yards.
Yeah, and that's like, look. The 3 best players, and it's not, and this is not an argument, y'all. Like, if you argue this, then there's something wrong with you. Are Josh Jacobs, and not in any order, Max Crosby, and Devontae Adams. Just
Cornerstones.
cornerstones, no question about it. It's like, wow, like we have great players. Now it's just a matter of putting it together, putting the right pieces together, and going on a Super Bowl run, man. That's what it's about, man.
Surely we could find a developmental speedster between rounds 3 and 5. I'd be on board using a pick there. Facts. I like that. I like that a lot. Get a guy that doesn't have a ton of expectations and can come in here and overperform what he's getting paid. That's where I'm at. Aguilar would be nice to have back. Same with Zay Jones. Zay Jones is getting a bag. You ain't getting him back.
Nah, he's.
I think focus on defense. Worst red zone for 20 plus years. Yeah, we got to build this defense, man. We got to do it the right way. Johnny Storm says, I think year 2 in this playbook will help everyone. It'll be easier to teach new players. I agree 100%. Aguilar back with Carr would be awesome. Facts. I agree.
Yeah, and I would like Aguilar with the we can get a receiver later in the draft.
Facts.
And let him develop. You know what I mean? Let him develop in that system. But if you just get a young receiver, like let's say somewhere in the draft, and you're expecting him to take that number 2 spot, come on, y'all. We seen Devontae Adams talk about the offense and how hard it is. We hear Darren Waller talking about, hey, it's gonna be year 2 or year 3 until we finally get it. If you think about it, man, like when you hear stuff like that, it's like, oh my God. So you think a college player is gonna come in and learn this crazy offense? No. Get a veteran that's played in this offense. We're trying to win now. Think let's win now, not 10 years from now. Win now.
With the Chargers right tackle Trey Pipkins potentially out this week, Storm Norton, oh geez, likely sides into right tackle. Norton versus Crosby last year, 101 pass rush snaps, 17 pressures, 5 quarterback hits, 2.5 sacks, 4 PBUs, and 11 stops, 30.1%. Shout out to Sean Johnson, boy. Sean Scheffner in the building. This is why this dude, oh man, you with the stats, man. I love it, man.
Yeah,
Anthony Provencio says shoot the wrench. Hey, shout out to you, Anthony.
All right, hey, you know what? Hit either me or Ray on IG.
Yeah,
and we'll give you the details. And you can find me on IG just like my name is spelled out here, Pharoah NFL, PHAROAH NFL, or obviously Raider Ray's channel. You can put up the link on that as well.
Yep.
And yeah, man, we'll give you the details.
Everybody smash the like, sub to both channels, support these two guys for they put the work in. Facts, man. We appreciate that very much, GA. Raider John, what's good, Raider fam? What's good, Raider John? Thank you for pulling up. Raider Ross, salute Raider Ray, Farrell. Hope all is well, man. Everything is going good, man. I'm blessed. This offensive system shows us that players will succeed. The system plus heart and a will to win equals win. Love it. Keep it real. Love it.
Oh my God. We just had a disgusting thing just happen right now.
What?
Cricket San Diego Bolt Ganga. And
gosh. Hey, hit him with
everything. Oh my God.
Hit him with it.
What should I do? Should I just hit him with the first of all, you need to get the hell out of here. Second of all,
first off, you're dead.
Man, you need to get out of here, man. Like, come on, man. What you doing over here, man? Nah,
you got YouTubers to go watch?
Appreciate everybody coming through, but we just playing around, man. We just playing around. I don't want you to take it to the heart, but yeah, man. But hey, it's gonna be a big week, man. And we're gonna get our revenge, man. The thing is, we didn't learn. See, Josh McDaniels didn't learn his lesson because he didn't know he came into game 1 this year thinking that he could pass heavy against this Chargers defense, and I thought that was a big mistake.
Facts.
This time around, we're doing something totally different, and the Chargers have one of the worst defenses in the NFL. So I mean, not the worst run defense in the NFL. And if Josh Jacobs is healthy this week, hey, you know what? And Zamir White, I'm gonna put Zamir White. Zamir White might be a nice little X factor this game.
Zamir White.
Zamir, possibly, because look, if you're telling me that Josh Jacobs is going to be like not practicing the whole week, and then obviously he's going to come into next game,
come into this game and get 30 carries again. That's what's going to happen. He's going to get 25 carries probably. He didn't practice the whole week.
No, what I'm saying.
No, he's not going to practice the whole week.
They're what they're saying is that he's most likely not going to practice the entire week. And
what's he got to practice for? The man just put up 303 yards. You give him the week off.
Give him the week off, huh?
No practice the rest of the year.
Yeah, just don't practice. Yeah. Nah, you ain't lying about that. But Man, you can't. So you're gonna give after 33 carries. Are you gonna give Josh Jacobs another 30 carries this game
I'm giving him
with
25.
a bad calf?
I'm giving him 25 for sure. Look, look, in the third quarter, he runs the most
Hey,
efficient football.
you don't care about Josh Jacobs like that.
No, this is probably the last year we have him. Run him into the dirt.
Damn,
30
God,
30
damn,
carries a
man, he's a
game, bro.
human being, bro. Let him live.
Yeah, but still.
I'm just saying though. You know what? I think that it'll be a smart move if we can like sprinkle in Zamir White. At least give him at least like 5 to 10 carries. Hey, when he had a couple of carries last game,
Hey, double digits too much. Double digits too
much?
much. It's too much.
Hey,
Look,
hey, chat, is 10 carries too much for Zamir White?
yes, chat.
Let us
Say
let
yes.
us know. Let us know.
Let us know your opinion, but say yes. The reason why I say that is because look, Josh Jacobs, he deserves 20 to 25 carries a game. The third quarter, the second half of football games, he takes over. He gets better as the game goes on. So you have to give him carries late into the football game. You don't let a guy like Zamir White chew into those carries. On top of that, the football should be ran through two players, and then everybody else gets the rest. You feed Josh Jacobs, and you give Devontae Adams his reps, and everybody else can fill in and make plays where they're asked to. Outside of that, right now, if you go away from that formula, the Raiders offense struggles. 100%.
I know it's risky, but like, man, but you're also risking the fact that like Josh Jacobs could be done for a long period of time. And if he's done for a long period of time, the Raiders' chances of winning decrease tremendously. So do you want to have someone come in because of necessity, or don't you want to do something to like, manage I'm
No,
not saying I'm
I
not
think
saying
they did that last game.
you said what?
I think they did that last game. I liked Zamir White getting those 3 reps. I liked Amir Abdullah getting involved in the pass game.
He ran the ball twice.
I'm cool. That's all I
I know
need.
it worked. Hey, it worked out last game. But what I'm saying is that, hey, down this stretch run, I'm just saying like he has an injured calf. So how do you manage that? And you got like the report saying that he's gonna miss the entire week and might miss the game. So if he does play, and I think that he possibly might be, Josh Jacobs he's a tough NFL, he's a tough player. He's gonna try to like push it through. But come on, as a head coach, you gotta step in and be like, all right, if you're gonna play, then we're gonna save you for the fourth quarter.
Hey,
Save
did
you
you
for the
hear
fourth quarter.
they try to shut him down in overtime? You hear that?
Who?
The coaching staff. They were going to shut Josh Jacobs down like he wasn't going to get reps in overtime. They try
Damn.
to they try to take him out like, hey, no, like you need to chill. And he went off and hit that. He went off and hit that 86-yarder.
Wow.
Hey,
Wow.
bro, he's a different animal right now, bro. But
Yeah.
I need to get down here, bro. I need to get down here.
Yeah.
But anyways, hey, everybody keep dropping it. I'm gonna get into matchups real quick. You know what I mean? We're an hour into the show. I kind of want to
Yep.
get into some matchups into the game.
Mhm.
Then we're gonna get into keys of victory. So we still got some stuff to get into, man. There's over 60 of you guys in the building, man. Make sure you smash the like button. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. And all 60 of you guys, you tuned into the right place at the right time because we're getting into matchups and we want you guys to contribute and let me know what you think about them. So first up, let's just talk about the offensive line regarding of the Chargers. It's obviously the weakness.
Take it away.
There are 2 guard positions, Matt Filer, Zion Johnson. Zion Johnson is a rookie who got the start at the guard position. He led up, I believe, 4 pressures. He had 4 pressures and a 59.5 pass blocking grade. So Billings, Nichols, Tillery. Between Matt Filer, Zion Johnson, Matt Filer led up a sack. Between these 3, who has the edge? And if I were to ask you, Pharaoh, who has the edge between Matt Filer, Zion Johnson, between Billings, Nichols, and Jerry Tillery?
I like Zion Johnson, man. I think he's real nice. So I
He's a
think
good
that
run blocker.
Yeah, he's a good run blocker. He's a good old lineman for them. That was a great pickup for them, that old line for years to come. And then what was the other matchup?
Matt Filer, 30-year-old, played for the Pittsburgh Steelers, signed with the Chargers. He let up a sack last week. I mean, they're kind of beat up. Me personally, I'm going to give the edge to the Raiders interior. I know that might sound a little bit crazy, but I think that they have found new life the last 2 weeks. I'm not doing this off a sample size of the whole season. I'm doing recent history. And I think over the last 2 weeks, this room has improved. These guys are getting off the blocks. They're shedding. Andrew Billings has really stepped up. Jerry Tillery is going to be playing motivated football. I give the Raiders an edge in the interior. The safety position, let's talk about it. JT Woods versus Devontae Adams and Mac
That's a real
Hollins.
biased take too, especially the first time around. Like literally, the D line was non-existent that first time around. But I feel you. Right now, the Raiders D line is they're playing pretty well right now.
Facts, yeah. And Zion Johnson is a dog when it comes to the run game for sure. So I mean, they're going to have a fight. Just consistently, I think if the Raiders can bring heat and continue to bring pressure on the Chargers offensive line as the game goes on, I think that bodes really well for the Raiders. A guy on the back end, JT Woods, getting snaps in for Nasir Adderley. I like Adams and Hollins matchups against this. If they can continue to make him miss tackles, he struggled in college with the missed tackles. Chargers benched him. Was really giving him time to develop that part of the game. The one play that he really led up in the Arizona Cardinals game was against DeAndre Hopkins. Missed a tackle. DeAndre Hopkins scampers in for 6. That's a matchup that the Raiders need to acknowledge, and they need to know where Derwin James is at all times. Edge, this is a no-brainer. I'm obviously going to go Devontae Adams, Mac Hollins. Left tackle, Salyer. Okay, this guy is stepping in for Rashawn Slater on IR, and make no mistake about it, he's actually played really good football. He has stepped in for Rashawn Slater and has played a big role for that Chargers offense. However, in this last game, he allowed 2 sacks, 3 pressures, and 1 holding penalty. You got to take advantage of that. If you're Chandler Jones, if you're Max Crosby, you've got to find a way to make plays on a guy like this. You know what I mean? It's we see it commonly in the National Football League. A backup player will step into a role and do pretty well for a game or two. You know what I mean? Until NFL teams start getting game film tendencies of what that player starts to do, and maybe that confidence starts to dwindle a little bit. You know, the emotions start to settle in for those players, and maybe their flaws start to get exposed a little bit. So I think Chandler Jones, Max Crosby, they really need to get after Salyer. I give the edge to Salyer though right now, because until Chandler Jones goes out there and proves it, I'm not just going to be a homer. I'm going to say that right now the left tackle position, they've held their own fairly well against.
And that's a good point, because how many times have we circled matchup with Chandler Jones and we're like, okay, this guy's a second-year player, this guy's a rookie, and Chandler Jones is nowhere to be found. So until we see it on Sundays, we can't circle anything with Chandler Jones.
Yeah, he's got to prove it. So that's why I give the edge to the Chargers here in the situation at the left tackle. A completely different ball game. You could be a premier right tackle in the National Football League. I'm going to give the edge to Max Crosby. He's obviously probably in conversation for defensive player of the year right now. So right tackle, I think Max Crosby is going to have a heyday. I think Justin Herbert is really going to struggle to stay upright with Max Crosby chasing him down for 4 quarters. And make no mistake about it, his motor is relentless. So he's going to be getting after Justin Herbert the entire game. These are the matchups, though, on the offensive side. You know, Mack versus Miller. Miller has struggled against power rushers, and he finds himself going against an elite one this week with Khalil Mack. Do you think that Khalil Mack and Colton Miller, what do you think that matchup's going to be? And do you think Colton Miller can finally have a bounce back game against Khalil Mack?
I think they need to send help that side with Colton Miller, because Colton Miller has proven time and time again that he struggles with power rushers, and Khalil Mack is like the cream of the crop. Like when it comes to, that's his game. You know what I mean? We all know that he's special when it comes to his power. Like, and I think that I'll take Mack over Miller in that matchup.
Yeah, I do too. That's exactly where I went with this. I gave the advantage to Khalil Mack until Colton Miller can prove otherwise against power rushers. Khalil Mack, he's done his thing, and going up against obviously the Raiders, he's going to come and play. The fact of the matter is everybody needs to expect the best performances out of these teams going against the Raiders. We're known to be the Raiders. Teams show up to play the Raiders. You know, you're always going to get the best from a unit when going against us. So let's see here. Keenan Allen versus Nate Hobbs. And the direction that I'm going to go with this is based off of recent sample size. And I know I might get a little bit of pushback from Raider Nation, but I'm actually going to go Keenan Allen, because the reason why I say that, this is the first game that Hobbs has been activated. You know what I mean? He's going to have to get back in shape. He's going to have to get back in routine with the defense, and he has all the capabilities to do that. I just think Keenan Allen right now, even if it's just moving the chains, 7-yard ends, attacking the boundaries, I think he does a really good job at moving the chains. Like I said earlier, the third down efficiency has gone up 10% since Keenan Allen has gotten back introduced into the lineup. So this game in particular, I'm going to give the matchup to Keenan Allen. I'm going to give an edge to him in the Chargers offense. I think their number one weapon is their number one weapon for a reason. And I think that Nate Hobbs is going to have to out there and compete against Keenan Allen and really earn those reps.
No, facts 100%. I agree with you when it comes to Hobbs just coming back, and you're going to play a player that like literally is going to test you. I believe in Hobbs. I think he's going to be, like you said, a superstar one day in this league. He's a playmaker. He's going to be a big boost to his defense, but it's going to be a tough matchup with him and Keenan Allen. They're going to try to attack him. He is coming back from injury. You know he's going to be rusty. He hasn't played in a while. So I think Keenan Allen, I'll take him over Hobbs just this week, because he did a good job. I think he did a solid job. Do you know what? Keenan got hurt that first time, right? The first time this season. He was actually playing well. He had a few catches, but before that, he was matched up with Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen, like the last two matchups from last year and last year, but he struggled against the Raiders. He didn't have a lot of catches. Same thing with Mike Williams. But this is going to be a tough. This is one of the biggest concerns of the game, because now you have Averett, and you guys can say all you want about Averett. He's hurt. He went to IR, and now the guy that's going to be coming up to possibly replace him, who knows, is Hall, a guy that's literally, you can count in one hand how many games.
I like him a lot better than Averett right now, though. He is playing aggressive, bro. He's playing with his hair on fire right now.
Yeah, he had that sack, if you guys remember, against the Denver.
He's playing
Broncos.
with passion, and I like that. I'll take that. Even if he makes mistakes, the young guys are stepping up, man.
He's
I know Sam
small,
Webb,
though, bro. He's so
he
small.
is small. Meek's small though too.
Yeah, but like you can't have two. Like how many small
You
guys?
can't have two small guys.
You can't have two small guys. You gotta mix it up a little bit.
They'll mix them up. They'll mix them up.
Because,
hey, Caleb Farley, Roderick Teamer. I'm not trying to see all that, bro. I'm really not trying to see all that. My last matchup, man, is actually Austin Eckler versus Denzel Perryman. And for my edge, I actually put a wash. I think that Denzel Perryman can be extremely effective when it comes to defending Austin Eckler, when it comes to the run attack. I think that the Raiders defense can show up, contain Eckler when it comes to rushing the football. My biggest concern is those checkdowns. My biggest concern is getting him involved in the passing game. Are the Raiders going to be able to cover him? Are you maybe going to have to line up a safety, a Trayvon Merrick, a Roderick Teamer, Deron Harmon? Are you going to have to match up some of these guys coming from the back end down into the box to match up and keep a hat on Austin Eckler? You've got to make sure you tackle this guy. Efficient tackling is going to be big this game. So
that's going to be a tough matchup.
It's a tough matchup.
They're going to test our linebackers coverage, and it's been terrible all year long. And a guy like Eckler, that's part of it. That's a big part of his game is catching passes out the backfield. And it's going to be similar to when we played the guy out in New Orleans, the Saints. Kamara is kind of the same type of running back where he gives you a little bit of everything. You know, he runs the ball, he catches the ball at the backfield. Eckler that's his style of play, and with our linebackers this year, it's kind of been a weakness for us, a big weakness.
No, facts, man. Like, look, so when it comes to matchups, man, it's even across the board. It's even across the board right now, which heading into this game, that's all you can ask for, man, is a tough matchup. And make no mistake about it, man. I want the Chargers as healthy as possible. I want the Raiders as healthy as possible. I want these teams to compete at the highest level. I want to see who the best team is. Right now, if you're going to ask my opinion, I think the Raiders have created some momentum. I think that they have the juice to go out here and finish football games. And for the first time, I honestly think the Raiders are going to out here to win a football game and do it collectively as a team. I think that they lost by one score in week 1 with no running game, 3 turnovers. They have all the possibilities of going in here and beating the Chargers at home and really getting back into the mix of things, at least throwing their name back into the conversation.
Hey, let's take off that Bolt Ganga needs to get off the screen, man. We got to get that. We got to get that out there, man.
Keep that man down.
Yeah, we got to get that out there, man.
Where's he at?
Which one? No, I mean, like off the screen, like you have it on the screen.
Oh,
yeah. This is a Raiders show, man.
Take that Bolt Gang out of here. Yeah, I didn't even realize that was on the screen.
Yeah,
Eckler's elusive. Elise Abram isn't covering facts. GA. 7 seed, baby. Jesse saying 7 seed. Hey, we're gonna pursue it. We're gonna pursue it, right? So let me know. Hey, Chad, what are some of the matchups that you're looking forward to? Farrell, what is something that you're looking forward to this game, man? What is your keys to victory for this game?
I kind of said it earlier in this, like literally, I kind of was ahead of it. But my thing is the fact that we have to continue what's working on offense, and that's running the ball and playing off that. That's literally helping this O line. It's helping the receivers. It's helping because at the end of the day, we're hurt in the receiving core. Like it's literally Devontae Adams and everybody else. And but what's working is the fact that we can run the ball and then play off that and get guys open, guys like Moreau, get guys like obviously Devontae Adams. It doesn't matter what type of offense you run, he's going to get open. But I feel like running the ball is going to be huge part of this game because we're playing another defense because the Seattle's defense struggled against the run. We're playing another defense that struggles against the run, and hopefully Josh Jacobs can be healthy for this game. I don't know about the 25 carries and all that, especially because I feel like that strained calf sounds like it's a real thing for him. And if you're missing all week of practice, I think that's a big sign, especially if you look at Josh Jacobs' history and breaking down later in the season. I know he came into the season in great shape, but I feel like we need to sprinkle in some other running. We got, Zamir White was drafted for a reason, right? So like, let's give him some carries. Let's give him some carries. Give him more than 2 carries. That's all I'm saying. Give him more than 2 carries. And on defense, our pass rush needs to take over the game. If it doesn't, it's over. It's going to be a high scoring, hopefully a high scoring game at the very least, you know what I mean, for us to keep up with them. Because if we can't get any pressure on Herbert, guys like Averett, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, if he plays, Eckler are going to go crazy against his defense.
Hey,
So
I agree
to me,
with you,
those are the
man.
2 biggest keys.
Hey, I mean, I've got 3 keys to victory. I'm going to start with number 3. Keep Eckler contained.
Go ahead.
Keep him in a box. Keep Eckler contained. Don't let him destroy you. Don't let him gash you. Don't let the play action start getting involved and get Gerald Everett involved. Keep these guys on man-to-man coverage. Load up the box, stop Eckler, and defend him out of the backfield. This Chargers offense has really been relying on short passes, check downs. If you can take that game away, their strength has not been stretching the field down deep lately. Okay, and that comes down to their offensive coordinator. Now, he might switch things up. It's Raiders week. He might switch the play calling up, right? He might be willing to take some shots. But again, the Raiders have done a really good job, even against the Seattle Seahawks, and it's been something they've shown all year in this Patrick Graham defense. They don't allow many people to get behind them. They do a really good job of keeping offenses in front of them and playing that bend, don't break style. They have not let up a ton of passes over the top of this defense. So keep everything up front, contain those check downs, and keep a hat on Austin Eckler. I think it's going to be pivotal for the Raiders to find success. Number 2, and this is something that I've seen the last 2 weeks, continue to play with passion. Continue to play with fire. Bring that Raider poise to this defense. Fly around. I want guys flying around to the ball, play in, play out, making plays, and finding ways to create turnovers. As long as you continue to play with juice, play with passion, play for each other, I think it gives this team the best chance to succeed. And number 1, run the football. Run the football. You are establishing yourself as one of the best running units in the National Football League, regardless of what anybody wants to say about this offensive line. Games are won in the trenches. Defensive line, offensive line needs to step up in a big way. This is going to be a game won inside the trenches without a shadow of a doubt. Those big guys up front, get a hat on this Chargers defensive line, move those interior guys, James, Bars, Parham, get your hat on people and create running lanes for Josh Jacobs, Zamir White, Brandon Bolden, and that's going to give yourself the opportunity to go out here and win a football game against the Chargers.
Hey, we got the entire Charger fan base in the chat, man. It's crazy, man. All 3 of y'all, man. All 3 of
y'all, boy.
All 3 of y'all out here,
man. Welcome. You're in a black hole of Raider fans, so I would be careful.
Facts, man. You this is Raider town, man.
You're going to hear it all Sunday. Chargers, the Raiders are going to beat you. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's a guarantee. Oh, you're doing guarantee
I'm
now?
Guarantee.
Wow, man, these back-to-back overtime games, man.
Hey, remember when I told you these last 2 weeks I got a gut feeling the Raiders are going to win, and then I told you I got a gut feeling the Raiders are going to pull out this game in Seattle. I've got this same gut feeling with this Charger games. I think this Raiders team is just playing with a little bit of different confidence, a little bit of swagger. They're gonna go out here and beat the Chargers, bro, at home.
Hey man, I love it, man. At the end of the day, right now, this is like I said, this is the best I've seen the Raiders play all season. I know it's easy to say because they're winning. They won back-to-back games, first time all season, but you can just tell by the way the players are playing on the field, the type of energy they're playing from the coaching staff, and you just can read between the lines. You're like, okay, they're finally putting it together. They're finally getting it. They're all kind of getting on the same page. And the crazy thing is, this is not even they can get even better.
That's what I'm saying.
They can get even better, and we'll see, man. Because they definitely there's like you mentioned, like there's some matchups. The Chargers do have some advantages too as well. This is going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tough, close game.
Hey, drag the Chargers out in deep water and drown them, just like we did the last 2 weeks, man.
Hey man, Raider. Hey man, you could
Drag them out. Pull out the gun. Yeah, shots fired. Drag the Chargers out.
Hey,
Drag
getting a little
Justin
dark today,
Herbert out.
man. You getting a little dark today, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. Hey, I'm feeling it, man. These 2 wins, they make you feel a little bit different.
Yeah, but like, hey, let's get into the chat, man. You got XXX, man. Man, a lot of X's, man. I'm kind of concerned over here. You guys think McDaniels will re-sign Jacobs? I think so. I think they have to. It just would be a bad decision not to bring back Jacobs and then go with Darren Waller and Renfro, and guys that they literally have proven that they've been injury prone the last couple of years. And I think you know what it was. I think going into the season they probably was like, you know what, we'll just use Jacobs for a year and then then move on from him. But I think that as the season gone on and how the Raiders have been winning, I think they've changed their mind. I think Jacobs comes back for sure.
Yeah, GA Patriot says the Chargers aren't ready for what Josh Jacobs is doing right now. And look, you give up a $120 against James Conner. Yeah, I seen that. I'm going to address that. Hold up. You give up a $120 to Conner. Yeah, you're not ready for what Josh Jacobs is going to bring. I'm going to address this. Matthew says every Raider fan has a gut feeling. It's a curse. Nah, man, we keep it a buck over here. We keep it a buck. When we think the Raiders are going to lose,
that was a funny comment, man. Hey, Matthew, man, that was funny, bro. That's hella funny because I ain't gonna lie. Like growing up a Raider fan, we always felt like we're gonna win the Super Bowl every year.
Facts,
man.
Bro. Hey, even when we had the Matt Schaubs, the Rod Streeters, we're like, hey man, there's a real opportunity out here. We signed.
No, but you know what? I'll tell you this though. I think Raider fan base is probably, would you say top 3?
Top 3 in what?
Top 3, like best fan base. Top 3
Raiders.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, we're sitting at 1, baby. Who are you putting in first?
I'm just going by the numbers, y'all. I'm a Raider fan at the end of the day, but I'm just going by the numbers. I'm saying like as far as the more fans, like their fan base is crazy. Who would you?
Are you talking about crazy numbers or crazy?
Okay. Are you saying number 1 in all sports, or are you saying number 1?
No, I'm talking NFL. You got to keep it. You got to keep it contained.
I was about to say, bro.
No, you got to keep it contained a little bit.
Okay, number 1 in the NFL.
It's top 3.
It's top 3.
It's top 3.
It's top 3 because I ain't got Steeler fans. They're pretty Steeler fans.
Green Bay's kind of that way.
But Green Bay got passionate fans, but it's in Green Bay. All their fans are in Green. Well, you know what? There's a lot of Green Bay fans.
I'm trying to think. I mean, I would say honestly the most hostile stadium though, just because I've been there a few times. KC at Arrowhead, bro. It's different.
Yeah, they have a good fan base. I'm not giving nothing to KC. I'm not giving nothing to him.
Chargers number 1. Oh my goodness. Let me put this up here. Everybody go gun this man. Shoot this man down. Where's the gun effect? Yeah, you're dead. You're done.
Man, these Charger fans over here. Look, that's 1. Hold up. Let's count all the Charger fans. All right. 1, 2.
Oh, wait. 2.
Okay. 3. This is 3? I think it might be 3. Let me go up this. I think I might have seen 4.
I don't even know if I've seen 3. I'm losing count because there's a lack of numbers.
Hey man. First time on the channel, I have a Raider bloodline in Northeast. Gut feeling that we win. Hey man, I love it, man. I love that. Queen,
Shout out
Raider
to you,
in the
Queen.
building.
Thank you for pulling up, Queen. Everybody go subscribe to her Instagram. She's out here doing her thing, man.
Mhm.
Shout out to you, Queen, for pulling up.
Johnny Storm B says tres leche.
Are you correct,
Man.
UB? There's only one.
Hey, you
Chargers
guys,
fan.
man, y'all funny, man. We got a funny chat. We got
Chargers fans don't have their own YouTube content creators to watch. Hey, it's okay. We'll entertain all of them.
Hey, it's all good, man. We're not gonna be blocking anybody just because they're fans of the team or they disagree with us. At the end of the day, it's all fun and games. It's just a game. But we're still gonna crack jokes. We still gonna have fun.
Hey, we do need to get that audio. Stop the cap. We need to get that.
Oh, hold on. You said stop the
cap.
There you go. Attaboy. Stop the cap.
Chargers have done nothing to even be in the discussion of any. What? Chargers have done nothing to even be in the discussion of anything. Number one,
stop the cap. Facts.
Stop the cap. Yeah, facts. 100%.
Queen Raider said didn't even know Chargers have fans. God, they don't. They don't have fans. Charger fans don't even have a home field. Facts. Salute Queen. Rod's got you deported, my G. Menace. Y'all been to a game this year. You know what? Me and Farrell were talking about going to a game. It kind of just didn't work out. And then the Raiders went losing some football games. And we were thinking like, hey, are we really going to drop $2,000 to go watch the Raiders lose? I think honestly, though, you guys in the future, I think me and Farrell have got some big plans doing a show out in Vegas, a live show going out, doing some live coverage of the game, covering it. We want to get out there together and experience a game and give you guys some good content. So that is definitely going to be something down into the future for sure.
Facts, yeah, definitely. We talked about that. You know what I mean? So we want to have fun. We're at the end of the day, we're like fans of the team, so we're trying to go to the game. I'm gonna put this out there. I haven't been to a Raider game in Las Vegas yet. I've seen the stadium. I did the tour and everything, so I still need to go. I still got to make my way out there. But when I do, man, it's gonna be special. It's gonna be epic. I'm gonna make sure to, get all the footage and all the good stuff. You know what I mean, for y'all. So.
Now, if we've got one of you guys that's got a connection with tickets, maybe we can make that happen. You know what I mean?
Man,
so hit us
man,
on IG if you've got a little connection with the tickets.
Yeah,
maybe we can make something work.
Oh,
this
yeah,
season.
fact.
But
100%.
we'll see, man. You know what, Raider Nation? I think we should get into a score prediction and maybe start wrapping this thing up, man. It's been a phenomenal show. So, Farrell, score prediction if you had to give one.
Oh man, so I haven't done a score prediction in weeks.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go 28-24 Raiders.
Raiders? Okay.
Mm-hmm. 28.
I'm going 30-27.
Okay.
30-27. I think it's gonna be a close game.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna come down to the wire a little bit. So
for sure, fourth quarter.
Yeah, man. I got the Raiders winning, man. Raider Nation. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Who
Man,
you got winning? Raiders?
Dodgers, everything says 28-17. He says Raiders.
And that's what the Chargers fans gonna be hearing all game, buddy. That's like music. I can fall asleep to that.
Facts, 100%. Damn,
50
to 0. Woo! Hey, man.
Oh my
that
God,
would be
bro.
a great game. If we win 50-0, I haven't seen like a blowout win
in a minute.
I think one of my favorite blowout wins is probably against the Broncos.
Yeah, that Darren McFadden game.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, that goes down to all time.
That was all time.
Let's see. Alfred says 31-28 Raiders, 100-100 tie. Now we're talking offense. Nice, Dennis. Have a great time. 36-6 Chargers. Stop the cap. Yeah, you're wilding right now.
Stop the cap.
Yeah, stop that. 42-31 Raiders, 27-14 Raiders. I like these. We're not even going to address Dorbin. We're not even going to do that. 34-21 Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly, Johnny. Dorbin is capping right now. 32-24.
Yep.
Daniel Kim. I like that. Hey, honestly, my gut reaction was going to be 33-24 Raiders pull this off in overtime for third overtime win. walk-off touchdown, third overtime win.
Damn, you got 2 predictions?
No, that's what I was going to put originally down on my paper, but I was
Okay, my
like,
second prediction is 35-21. 35-20. That's my second prediction.
you think we're going to put it
So
on?
it's either 28-24 or 35-21 Raiders.
30-27
See
Raiders.
how you see how
Carlson,
see how I just play it? You know what I mean? I play both sides.
Nah, I see it. I see it. I see
You
it.
know what I'm saying?
We have to get this dub for the newest member of the Raider Nation on Sunday. Facts. Hey, and in February, I'm welcoming my little boy. So we're gonna have another one. So
Man,
we're just adding to the Raider Nation family, man.
that's
Johnny,
dope.
31-21. Raider Room, Carlson for the win. Facts. Carlson's gonna have a bounce back game and hit that 56-yard field goal to make up for last week. That's what's about to happen.
Yep.
69-2 Chargers. Boy, you are
GA Patriot wants to know who are the player of the games.
game balls. Let me go with. Do I do this in the obvious route? I mean, obvious route. I say to me personally, Max Crosby.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one.
Max Crosby. Offensively, I'm gonna have to go with my boy Josh Jacobs. I think he's gonna have himself a little field day. He might not have. You know what? This might even be a game. He might not even have like a crazy amount of yards. I think his red zone touchdowns are what's going to be effective this game. That's my opinion. If the Chargers can't buckle down in the red zone and that run defense is a little bit shaky and we can just consistently wear them down as the course of the game goes, look for Josh Jacobs to have multi-score touchdown game. So that'd be that. What about you on the offensive side?
Look, we can all say the obvious ones: the Devontae Adams, the Josh Jacobs, the Max Crosby, obviously because they're the best players on the team. But let's go. I'm gonna do a remix. I'm gonna do a remix. I'm gonna say X factor in the game, and I think if Jacobs is as hurt as he is, and he's gonna be going into the game banged up, and there's a chance that he might not play, and if he does play, he's gonna need help. I think X factor. If the Raiders win, got to be Zamir White. I'm gonna throw that in there. I know it's a curveball. It's left field at the end of the day, but who's gonna be the starting running back if Jacobs doesn't play?
That's gonna
Brandon
be
Bolden?
No.
You know what I mean?
My Abakazi impression.
Yeah, for real, thanks. But
Yeah,
but yeah, man, I think Zamir needs to get incorporated into the offense, and if he plays well, hey, that means the Raiders' W could be realistic.
Hey, if Nate Hobbs is activated, you think he could be a sleeper for a late game interception?
Oh, that's an X factor too. Nate Hobbs coming back for the first time getting hurt. You know what I mean? He's kind of coming into the game under the radar because he's been out for so long. Other players have really stepped
late
up.
Game, they're gonna try to test him. He's gonna come away with that pick, boy.
Yeah, that's another X factor for sure.
Oh,
Yep.
GA Patriot hot take. AJ Cole will be a game changer. Field positioning. Boogie says, "I'm gonna be real. If Jacobs doesn't play, we're screwed." I don't know. We'll see. I trust this offense. We'll see. We'll see. But hey, man, remarkable show. Thank you for everybody that tuned out, man. If you guys enjoyed yourself, let us know down in the comments section below so we can address you and acknowledge that you had a great time tonight. And on your guys' way out, man, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to our channels if you guys are new here. And when you guys leave a comment after this live stream is done, it just shoots this video up the algorithm, and it just helps your guys' experiences as we continue to go live. The more people flood in, the more your interactions are. Shout out to all the Chargers fans, all 3 of you, 2.5 of you that all pulled up. I appreciate the love from the enemy as well. So it's all love, man. So everybody subscribe to the channel. Farrell, you got any closing segments before we get out of here?
Nah, just
win, baby.
That's all it is, man. That's at the end of the day. We just trying to see a win on Sunday, man. At the end of the day, and yeah, be on the lookout, man. We will be going live later in the week. It's going to be on my channel, so just be on the lookout. We'll make announcements on social media and all that good stuff.
And hey,
we appreciate everybody coming through and everybody that we didn't get to, because obviously a lot of people are leaving comments in the chat. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what your thoughts are. And I know Ray's really responsive. I'm really responsive when it comes to comments. So just make sure to leave some comments down below for sure.
Facts.
And like the video too. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, man.
And we will be live on Pharaoh's channel Saturday. And hey, look, if the Raiders win, we did a reaction video to the Seattle post game. If the Raiders go out here and beat the Chargers and get back in the mix, who knows? You might see me and Pharaoh do a post game live show as well. So we'll have to see how it is, but that's not guaranteed. But Saturday on Pharaoh NFL's channel, we will be guaranteed to go live. So everybody that's here, tune in to the show on Saturday and pick up some conversation. It's an open dialogue. So thank you guys for pulling up. Thank you guys for being patient and tuning in with us on Tuesday. And as always,
Just win, baby.